Welcome back to another episode of The Narrow Road. So, not last week, but like 2 weeks ago, I went to the beach, and it really got me thinking on the beauty of God's design and the beauty of creation, but more importantly, how we are God's masterpiece and how He calls us His greatest design. And so, just because I was around the beauty of the beach, and I mean, the beauty of the sunsets and the sunrise, that is God's creation. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful creation. But He doesn't call that His greatest creation. He calls us His greatest creation. And there's so much weight and beauty in that. And when we can begin to believe that, we will begin to see ourselves in a new light. And that is so important, because in today's world, we are constantly told that we don't look good enough. We're never going to be enough because we don't look a certain way, or we don't wear the right clothes, or wear the right makeup, or our hair's not the right color. We don't have to do that. We're made in God's image. We don't have to fit into this perfect image that the world tells us we have to be. And so I was just thinking in Genesis 1, it talks about how God creates the light and the land, the sea animals, all by speaking. Let there be, and it was. But when He creates us, it's different. And in Genesis 1:26, He says, "Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. They will rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the livestock, the whole earth, and the creatures that crawl on the earth.'" We are created in His image. And I think that is really powerful, but also it was the last thing He created. Man was the last of His creation. Some could say He saved the best for last, which I think is really cool. And in Genesis 2, it says, Genesis 2, verse 7, "Then the Lord God formed the man out of the dust from the ground, and He breathed the breath of life into his nostrils, and that man became a living being." God didn't speak man into existence. He breathed man into existence. His breath is what gives us life. It's what gave us life. And I think that is so powerful, that He didn't speak us into existence. He breathed us into existence. And like, His very breath is what's in our lungs. When we breathe in and breathe out, we are saying Yahweh. We are bringing glory to Him just by breathing, which is so cool, because in Psalms 19:1 it says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of His hands." The skies are proclaiming the glory of God just by existing. We get to proclaim the glory of God by breathing. That is mind-blowing. And He formed us. He breathed us. That is the act of a personal God. That means we carry His fingertips, His creativity, His ability to love, think, create, feel. We are made in His image. And so when we look in the mirror, it's okay that we don't look like everybody else on this earth. That's okay. It's okay that we don't have blonde hair or red hair or blue eyes, green eyes. We're made in His image, and that should be enough. And in Ephesians 2:10, God calls us his masterpiece, not his mistake, not his afterthought, not something he regrets, his masterpiece. Unfortunately, though, some days we're not always going to feel like his masterpiece. I don't always feel like his masterpiece. Some days we feel broken, messy, tired, ashamed. That is a lie from the enemy. He is going to try and get you to feel bad about yourself and that you're not good enough, you don't look the right way, you're not going to ever be enough for this world. That's from the enemy. Don't believe that. Our value is not based on how we feel. The enemy tries to get us to base our value on how we feel. Our value, though, is based on who made us, and it's based on God. And the creator of the universe, who breathed life into us, made us with purpose and intention. There was intentionality behind his creation. So never think that you are unintentional, a mistake, a regret. There is purpose and intention behind every single one of God's creation. So the next time you see the beautiful sunset, or the stars at night, or the sunrise, or the sunset, remember that that is just a glimpse of his glory. But when we look in the mirror, you're looking at his masterpiece. And when you look around at the people around you, we're seeing the same thing. That is another glimpse of God's masterpiece and God's glory. So remind yourself that you are made in the image of God. You are his greatest creation. Let that shape how you speak and how you interact with others, because you're interacting with God's creation, with God's masterpieces. And let that change how you walk with him. Walk with him with intentionality and gratefulness and rejoicing that you get to have a relationship, a personal and intimate relationship with the God of the universe and the God who created you with purpose and intentionality. We get to have a relationship with him. He didn't make us and then leave us alone to die. He came down to earth. He stepped down off of his throne to have a relationship with us, to have a personal and intimate relationship with us. That is the beauty of God's design. That's the beauty of us being his masterpiece, is we get to have that relationship. So when you go throughout the week this week, remind yourself, I'm God's masterpiece. I am made in his image. I don't have to look a certain way or feel a certain way, because that's what the enemy wants us to do. He wants us to base our value on how we feel. But God says, your value is found in me.